go, so off to work I go. Well, g'day everybody and welcome back. I'm not actually going to work, I'm going to my wife's work. She rode a scooter into work tonight, and I'm just going to buzz up there and be there when she knocks off, and we'll ride home together. So she works at Australia's oldest continuous brewery, established in 1824. So she's a brewer. She's up there making the good stuff. Living the dream, boys, living the dream. I worked at the famous Cascade Brewery myself for about 5 years. I was the engineering manager. Yeah, let's go for a ride. I mean, we only get peak hour traffic here. Right around that, like 7 o'clock in the morning to 9:30, and from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon till about 5 after that, and before that there's nothing. So we don't have a hell of a lot to complain about, to be honest, even though I whinge and carry on. But I guess one of the things that is frustrating about Hobart is how very quickly it can become gridlocked, because there's not a lot of ins and outs out of the town, so you only need to have someone run out of petrol or break down on the bridge or the southern outlet, or have a nose to tail somewhere, and all of a sudden you've got a city in gridlock, because everybody tries to work their way around the incident, and it just compounds the issue. I want to have a bit of a chat for newish riders while we're going. The distance that I am from this car in front of me I consider to be on the borderline of too close, definitely too close now. And the reason for that is that you don't you can't stop as quick as a car, in spite of what you might think in terms of the weight of a motorcycle compared to the weight of a car. They got 4 tyres planted firmly on the ground and a clamp on each wheel, whereas we've got very little contact patch by comparison, so we can't generally pull up safely as well as a car can. So you don't want to be that close that, oh God, looking good, Hobart. Sorry. Got to watch, there's a permanent camera on this bridge, and that permanent camera right there, see it? Yeah, is responsible for a lot of accidents, because people drive along the bridge, bumper to bumper, up each other's bum as they do, and they're staring at their speedometers instead of looking at the road, and they ultimately become victim to that. Honestly, sir, I wasn't going that fast. Following distance. So here in Tasmania we have a lot of critters, kangaroo possums. But we don't get the big kangaroos that they do on the mainland.
This is Gartander with the nearest miss of the day.
Like the one that wiped out poor old Brian. He's on the mend, by the way. His bike's looking good. Most of ours are all camp oven size. So we got possums, brush-tailed possums, and potoroos, and small wallabies, and we do have wombats. They're nuggety little things. They'd be like hitting a pig. But the point is that the little fellas, they get cleaned up by cars quite a lot, and if you're following too close to the car in front, you won't see his little carcass until it pops out from underneath the car. It's just straddled over it, and you'll run straight into it, and if you hit it at the wrong angle it can cause you a lot of grief. I mean, some of them, a lot of the critters down here are the size of small to medium dogs. Like, they're not tiny things. Now, what I just did then, filtering at the lights, I do it all the time, and it's not strictly legal in Tasmania, but it's not strictly illegal either. It's sort of at the discretion of the police. But it is legal in some states of Australia. I do it for my own personal safety. The last thing I want is someone running up the back of me, and I'm terrified of it. So I tend to work my way to the front. Even like here, I'm taking a risk if that light hadn't turned green. But you get a green light in Hobart, you just sort of sit on 40-50 kilometres an hour, and as you can see, the lights in front of us will just all go green. Once you're out of sync with that, then you've got to stop. But as long as you maintain speed, you should get a green line all the way up Davey Street and back down Macquarie. The other thing I like to do is move around, let the car in front of you actually start looking for you. Like, you want to be out of the death zone, so like on roads like this I tend to ride sort of in the middle, although that's where all the oil leaks are. You'll pick up on your tyres, so in the wet it's not such a great idea, but you want to sort of stay away from where you're in close proximity to other vehicles. And you also, I like to, like I said, move around from position 1, position 2, position 3, and let the guy in front of you look for you. Oh, where'd that bike go? Or, you know, or he might catch your headlight moving around in his rear vision mirror. Just let him know you're there, because we all know as motorcyclists we're looking all the time, you know. Like, I'm watching this bloke here. Yeah, we're always looking, and car drivers don't, so you tend to know what vehicles are around you, whereas if you're in a car you don't. Always check up the side street that no one's going to come roaring out. I'm sticking to the right here because any one of these cars could swing a door open, could pull off because they didn't see your headlight behind the car that's sitting in front of you. And just think about what you're doing and where you're positioning yourself on the road, and always try and mitigate risk by putting yourself in the least vulnerable position. You know, the other thing we tend to do as motorcyclists on road bikes is grab hold of the grips, and that slows your reaction time down to the brake and the clutch. If you're a dirt bike rider, and I was, you tend to grow up holding with one or two fingers resting on the lever. It sharpens your reaction time from brain saying stop to fingers grabbing lever. But I mean, I have sort of fallen out of the habit since I stopped riding dirt bikes, and I tend to just relax on the bike as long as you give yourself enough room to grab that lever if you need to, enough time from the car in front. But it's not going to stop if a dog or something comes running out of a driveway. Yep, anyway, there's a few tips and tricks. Beautiful Mount Wellington up there, and I just caught a glimpse of the Cascade Brewery. It's a beautiful old Gothic building. I used to love driving up here and looking at that every day on my way to work. You often see snow on the mountain behind it, or a bushfire. Actually, the whole brewery was wiped out by a fire in 1967. I shouldn't laugh about that. It's and they rebuilt it to their credit. But yeah, the brew house itself, the vessels are 1927. So they're getting old. Isn't it beautiful? Anyway, I'll pick you up on the way back. She scoots along on that thing all right. I always ride behind her and kind of got her back, but she'll tell me that I couldn't keep up with her. It's great. So ultimately, her dream bike is a BMW 650 scooter. Adjustable windshield, heated seat, heated grips. But she loves her Shirley because it just does everything that she wants, and it's got an enormous amount of storage on it. It's got that massive great top box that she made me put on there. And she's got where are you going, Rach? Turn the indicator off. It's self-cancelling. It should just turn off. There it goes. Yeah, so she's also got more than that in storage under the seat. Green light coming up, my darling. There you go. Oh, she hasn't ridden the damn thing for, oh God, it'd be probably 6 months. And I just blew the dust off it on Sunday and ran over it and made sure the tyre pressures were right, the oil level was okay, and put fresh fuel in it and fired her up, and away it went. Just can't kill them with a stick. Yeah, good girl. Spotted him moving over. She backed off. Got to always have that awareness about you. We thought we might go down to the waterfront and grab some fish and chips. All good? This is Constitution Dock, where all the yachts come in for the Sydney to Hobart. Alright, that was nice. Nice fisherman's basket. Lots of nice little restaurants and that around, dotted around here. Cruise ship terminal. Sometimes the bikes just aren't heavy enough to trigger the induction loops, or whatever they are under the ground. They put more bitumen on and they leave the manhole covers at the same damn height. They don't raise them, and they should. Someone just kicked me in the arse. Be a bit of a slower run on the highway, although she's got her P2 license, which allows her to travel at 100. Yeah, she's allowed to do 100, but on her P1 license she wasn't allowed to do 100. If you've got a car and you've got a P1 license, you can do 100. It's a little bit silly, really. I'm a little bit worried about the amputee's arm, because I can feel it. I'm hoping I don't lose it, or he'll be a double amputee. Good size rear light on that scoot. Tasman Bridge. The old Tasman Bridge fell down. A boat by the name of the Lake Illawarra clipped one of the pylons, and a section of the bridge came down, and people were killed, and the boat is still languishing at the bottom of the river, the Derwent, clipping up against the pylon down there actually. Yes, they made changes to the way they do business when there's a large boat travelling under the bridge. The River Derwent's one of the deepest navigable rivers in the world. I think it's the second only to one in Rio de Janeiro, maybe. I can't remember. And yeah, it's sitting at the bottom of it. And since then, now if they have a large ship navigating under the bridge, they shut the bridge, so all the lights go red and flash, and everyone's got to queue up and wait for the boat to pass. And this is about to change lanes and go around them all here, and I'll be patient. Just enjoy out having a ride with my wife. Nice. And yeah, so there you go. They made a few procedural changes to try and mitigate risk. People were paranoid, wouldn't go across that bridge for a long time, and I can hardly blame them. Or would have put the wind up them. Take a lot of convincing to get back on there again. She likes sitting in that number one position. I know that when I'm following other bikes, I just swap places with them, so if they're on the inside, I'll go to the outside, and vice versa. The reason being that if you do find yourself in an emergency braking situation, you give yourself a path to be able to avoid the bike in front of you. And that goes without saying for anything. I'm always looking for an exit. So if I'm travelling in traffic, I always put myself in a position where if I have to, I can get up the side of the vehicle that's in front of me. She's slowing right down. I like this corner, but she's not in it for the thrill of the corners. Oh, she does enjoy it, but still learning, still novice. Sometimes though it's more dangerous to go around the corner slowly, because you kind of jerk your way around the corner rather than smooth ride. Ah, she did alright. No knee on the ground, but It's not what it's all about. Looking back to the western shore of the Derwent, and Australia's oldest casino, legal casino, the Rest Point Casino. Oh well, that was fun, something different. Nice quiet evening ride with my wife on her way home from work. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you next time on Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. Bye for now.